Life has a way of sending us signals, warnings, if you will, that guide us toward making better decisions. These signs may not always be loud, but they are always present, and it is our responsibility to pay attention. Today I want to talk to you about 5 critical warnings you must heed in your life if you want to avoid regret and step into your true potential. The first warning: never ignore your intuition. Your inner voice, that subtle whisper, knows more than you realize. Too often we are taught to prioritize logic or external validation over our own feelings and instincts. But if you learn to listen, your intuition will steer you clear of many pitfalls. When you feel uneasy about a decision or situation, that discomfort is trying to tell you something. Trust it. The second warning: don't stay in toxic environments. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a job that drains you, or a group of people who discourage your growth, staying in negative environments will slowly erode your happiness and potential. You deserve to be in spaces that uplift you, that encourage you to be the best version of yourself. Remove yourself from what harms you. Your growth depends on it. The third warning: complacency is your enemy. It's easy to get comfortable in life, to think that where you are is good enough. But let me tell you, complacency can steal your future. Whether in your career, your relationships, or personal growth, if you are not moving forward, you are moving backward. Strive for progress, not perfection. Seek out opportunities to learn, to evolve, and to challenge yourself. The fourth warning: neglecting self-care is a serious mistake. You are your greatest asset. If you are not prioritizing your health mentally, emotionally, and physically, you are setting yourself up for burnout and unhappiness. Taking time for self-care isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you care for yourself, you're better able to give to others, to work on your goals, and to create the life you desire. The fifth and final warning: resist not change. Change can be intimidating, but it is also the very thing that propels us forward. Whether it's a change in your career, your lifestyle, or your mindset, resisting change keeps you stuck in the past. Embrace it. Understand that change is a natural part of life, and with each change comes an opportunity to grow, to reinvent yourself, and to align closer with your true purpose. Ladies and gentlemen, life will always send you warnings, subtle nudges, and even loud alarms. The key is to listen, to recognize when something isn't serving you, and to have the courage to step away from it. When you heed these warnings, you are not only protecting your well-being, but also investing in your future success. So pay attention to the signs, trust your instincts, and always be ready to embrace the changes that come your way. Life has a remarkable way of communicating with us, though often the messages are subtle and easy to overlook. One of the most powerful and sometimes overlooked forms of communication comes from within our intuition. This inner voice, often described as a gut feeling or a sixth sense, can be one of the most reliable guides in navigating the complexities of life. Yet many of us ignore or dismiss it, believing that logic and external validation should be our primary decision makers. Ignoring this instinct, however, can have profound consequences. Intuition is a deep, innate wisdom that arises from the combination of our experiences, emotions, and instincts. It is a feeling, a hunch, or an unexplainable sense that guides us in directions we may not be able to fully articulate at first. It's not about overthinking or analyzing every little detail, but rather about listening to that quiet yet powerful inner voice. This intuitive voice is often trying to protect us, to prevent us from making decisions that might not align with our true purpose or that could lead to harm. Ignoring your intuition can lead to regret, confusion, and sometimes even deeper problems. How many times have you found yourself in a situation, whether personal or professional, where you had an uneasy feeling deep down but chose to ignore it? Maybe you decided to stay in a job that didn't fulfill you, a relationship that didn't support your growth, or a situation where something just didn't feel right. In those moments, that inner voice was likely trying to warn you, but the external pressures or the desire to please others led you to dismiss it. When we dismiss our intuition, we open ourselves up to unnecessary struggles. Our intuition is a reflection of our subconscious mind, which has observed patterns, understood emotions, and learned lessons that we may not consciously recognize. It's a protective mechanism, one that can guide us towards safety, success, and fulfillment. By ignoring it, we risk making decisions that feel wrong in our hearts, even if they appear right on paper. Often, what seems logical or rational in the moment may not align with our deeper values, desires, or sense of purpose. One of the reasons people tend to ignore their intuition is due to fear. Fear of making the wrong choice, fear of standing out, or fear of disappointing others. We often seek reassurance from the outside world, instead of trusting what we already know within. It's easy to fall into the trap of seeking approval or validation from others, especially when the decisions we are making are significant. But the truth is, no one knows you better than you know yourself. No one can feel your emotions, sense your desires, or understand your unique journey. Therefore, your intuition, if you allow it, will always guide you in the direction that is most aligned with your authentic self. Another reason we may ignore our intuition is because of the pressure to conform. Society often teaches us to prioritize logic, rationality, and practicality, sometimes at the expense of our deeper, more instinctual understanding. We are encouraged to follow a set path, to listen to the advice of others, and to seek the approval of those around us. In many ways, this can make it difficult to trust that quiet voice inside. However, the more we dismiss our intuition, the more disconnected we become from our true selves. And over time, this can lead to feelings of frustration, dissatisfaction, and a lack of fulfillment. Learning to trust and act on your intuition is a powerful skill. It requires slowing down, tuning into your inner feelings, and learning to differentiate between the noise of the world and the quiet wisdom within. It also involves being courageous enough to make decisions that might not always make sense to others, but are aligned with your own values and vision. Trusting your intuition is not about being reckless or impulsive, rather, it's about giving yourself permission to listen to the wisdom that is already within you. It's about recognizing that the answers you seek are often not found in the external world, but within your own heart and mind. When you start listening to your intuition, you begin to make decisions that feel right on a deeper level. Your choices will align with your true desires, and you will experience a sense of peace and confidence that comes from knowing you are moving in the right direction. And even when things don't go as planned, your intuition will help you adjust, learn, and grow. In conclusion, the first warning sign you should never ignore is your intuition. It's a powerful, innate guide that, when trusted, leads you toward decisions that are aligned with your true self and purpose. By listening to that quiet inner voice, you empower yourself to make choices that will bring you closer to the life you are meant to live. The next time you feel that subtle nudge or inner whisper, pause and listen. It may be the most important decision you ever make. There are certain environments in life that we find ourselves in, whether they are relationships, workplaces, or social circles, that over time become increasingly toxic to our well-being. These environments, though they may initially seem harmless, can gradually chip away at our confidence, happiness, and sense of purpose. One of the greatest warnings you must heed in life is staying in these toxic spaces. The longer you stay, the more difficult it becomes to break free, and the more harm it does to your mental, emotional, and even physical health. Toxic environments can come in many forms, but they all share a common trait: they drain you. It could be a relationship with a person who constantly undermines you, a workplace where negativity and criticism dominate, or even a social circle that encourages unhealthy habits. Over time, these toxic environments make you question your worth, your decisions, and your direction in life. They can create a toxic mindset within you that makes it difficult to believe in yourself and your potential. Staying in these environments allows negative energy to take root in your life. And when this happens, growth becomes almost impossible. One of the most obvious signs of being in a toxic environment is the feeling of constant emotional drain. If you find yourself feeling mentally and emotionally exhausted after spending time with certain people or being in certain places, that's a clear warning sign. The energy you put out is not being reciprocated, and you are left feeling depleted, empty, and unable to recharge. Emotional drain occurs when there is a constant sense of negativity around you, whether it's criticism, judgment, or constant drama. Your energy becomes consumed by trying to deal with the toxicity, and it leaves little room for you to focus on your own growth or well-being. Another warning sign is a constant sense of anxiety, stress, or even fear. When you're in a toxic environment, you might feel a constant sense of walking on eggshells. You're uncertain of how your words or actions will be received, or you might feel trapped in a cycle of conflict and tension. This state of constant uncertainty and fear creates an environment where you feel like you can't be yourself, constantly adapting to the demands or expectations of others. Over time, this type of stress can take a severe toll on your mental and physical health, leading to issues like anxiety, depression, and chronic health problems. In toxic environments, you also tend to lose your sense of identity. Whether it's through manipulation, control, or simply the overwhelming negativity around you, these spaces slowly erode your confidence and sense of self. You begin to doubt your decisions, question your abilities, and lose sight of who you really are. This loss of identity can leave you feeling confused, insecure, and disconnected from your true values and aspirations. The longer you stay in a toxic environment, the harder it becomes to rediscover yourself because you have allowed the external influences to define you instead of embracing your own inner strength and wisdom. Perhaps one of the most damaging aspects of staying in a toxic environment is that it prevents you from growing. Growth requires a supportive, nurturing environment where you feel encouraged to push your boundaries, explore new opportunities, and challenge yourself. When you're in a toxic environment, you are often stuck in a cycle of negativity that does not allow you to expand your horizons. Instead of finding opportunities to learn and grow, you're constantly fighting battles that hold you back, whether they are emotional battles, power struggles, or battles against doubt. You may begin to feel stuck, unable to move forward, and uncertain of how to break free from the cycle. It's important to recognize that staying in a toxic environment is a choice. While we cannot always control the environments we find ourselves in, we do have control over how long we stay in them. Recognizing that you deserve a space that nurtures your growth, celebrates your uniqueness, and provides you with the energy to thrive is crucial. It's essential to understand that leaving a toxic environment doesn't mean you're abandoning others, nor does it mean you're giving up. It means you are choosing to prioritize your health, happiness, and growth. It means you are choosing to take responsibility for your life and the energy you allow into it. Leaving a toxic environment may feel difficult at first, especially if you become accustomed to it or if there are emotional attachments involved. But remember that you have the power to choose what you allow into your life. Whether it's cutting ties with a toxic person, quitting a job that no longer serves you, or distancing yourself from negative influences, choosing to leave these environments opens the door to new opportunities for growth, peace, and a more fulfilling life. In conclusion, one of the greatest warnings in life is staying in toxic environments. These environments, whether they are relationships, workplaces, or social circles, have the power to drain your energy, damage your mental health, and stunt your growth. By recognizing the signs of toxicity and choosing to remove yourself from these spaces, you are taking the first step toward creating a life that is aligned with your true values and potential. Don't let anyone or anything keep you in a space that harms you. Your life is too precious, and you deserve to be in an environment that nurtures your growth and supports your happiness. Life is filled with countless opportunities, but not all of them are meant for us. The third major warning in life is being overly eager to say yes to every opportunity that comes your way. While embracing opportunities and new experiences is vital for growth, there is a critical balance to strike. Sometimes saying yes to everything can stretch you too thin, lead you down paths that don't align with your goals, and even cause you to lose sight of what truly matters to you. Saying yes to every opportunity often comes from a place of fear. We fear missing out, we fear letting others down, and we fear not living up to the expectations placed on us. It's a natural instinct to want to seize every opportunity that presents itself, as we often see them as chances to prove our worth or to achieve success. However, the truth is that not all opportunities are created equal, and many of them come with hidden costs that affect our time, energy, and emotional well-being. When you're constantly saying yes to everything, you may find yourself caught up in a never-ending cycle of overcommitment, stress, and burnout. In a world that is always moving faster, there is an unspoken pressure to constantly be doing more. Social media often exacerbates this, portraying people who are perpetually busy, juggling multiple projects, and achieving high levels of success. It's easy to feel like you should be doing everything all at once in order to keep up, but in doing so, you risk spreading yourself too thin and neglecting the things that truly matter to you. By saying yes to everything, you may find yourself in situations that pull you away from your true passions and purpose. The result can be a sense of frustration and dissatisfaction as you find yourself investing time and energy into things that aren't aligned with your long-term vision. Moreover, constantly saying yes to others can lead to a lack of boundaries. Boundaries are essential in maintaining balance in your life, and without them, you run the risk of feeling taken advantage of, overwhelmed, and resentful. When you overextend yourself by agreeing to everything, you are essentially neglecting your own needs. Whether it's taking on additional work, attending events you don't want to go to, or constantly saying yes to others' requests, you might find yourself sacrificing your personal time, rest, and well-being in the process. This lack of boundaries can quickly lead to exhaustion and a loss of self-respect as you give away too much of your time and energy to others, leaving little for yourself. Additionally, saying yes to everything can prevent you from focusing on what truly matters. Every opportunity, no matter how appealing, requires time, effort, and focus. When you stretch yourself across too many different ventures, you inevitably dilute the quality of your work and your attention. Instead of excelling at one or two things, you become mediocre at many. It's easy to mistake busyness for productivity, but real progress often comes from deeply focusing on the right things, not trying to do everything at once. Saying yes to every opportunity without discerning whether it's aligned with your core values can leave you feeling disoriented and unfulfilled. Another danger of saying yes to everything is the fear of missing out, FOMO. We live in a culture that promotes constant access to new experiences, new connections, and new ventures. The idea that we could miss out on something better can drive us to say yes to things we don't even really want to do. FOMO can be a powerful motivator, but it often leads us to make decisions based on what we think others expect or what society deems as successful rather than what we genuinely want or need. This fear-based decision-making can pull us away from our true path, causing us to waste precious time on opportunities that do not serve our personal growth or happiness. Saying no is just as important, if not more so, than saying yes. It's a skill that allows you to protect your time, energy, and focus. When you say no to the things that don't align with your values, goals, or priorities, you open up space for the things that truly matter. Saying no doesn't mean you're being selfish or unkind. It means you're being discerning about where you direct your resources, mental, emotional, and physical. By saying no when necessary, you create room for opportunities that align with your true purpose, and you give yourself permission to focus on what brings you fulfillment. In conclusion, constantly saying yes to every opportunity is a warning sign that should not be ignored. While embracing opportunities is important for growth, it's crucial to be intentional about which opportunities you choose to pursue. Saying yes to everything may leave you feeling overextended, unfulfilled, and disconnected from your true path. It's vital to recognize that not every opportunity is meant for you, and that sometimes saying no is the most powerful choice you can make. By saying no to the wrong things, you say yes to a life that is more intentional, focused, and aligned with your deepest values and goals. Remember, you cannot pour from an empty cup, so make sure to protect your time and energy for what truly matters to you. Life is full of challenges, and one of the most dangerous pitfalls we can fall into is the habit of constantly comparing ourselves to others. This comparison trap can quietly steal our joy, creativity, and sense of self-worth. When we focus on what others have, how others look, or what others have accomplished, we often forget to appreciate our own journey and our own unique path. Constant comparison creates an unhealthy mindset, one that keeps us stuck in a cycle of envy, frustration, and self-doubt. We live in a world that constantly showcases the highlight reels of others' lives. Social media in particular makes it so easy to see the successes, accomplishments, and perfect moments of those around us. However, what we often forget is that what we see online or in the lives of others is only a small, curated glimpse of their reality. We rarely see the struggles, the failures, or the challenges they face behind the scenes. And yet, despite this, we still find ourselves measuring our own lives against theirs, leading to feelings of inadequacy and a sense that we are not doing enough or achieving enough. The issue with constantly comparing ourselves to others is that it fosters a mindset of scarcity. We start to believe that there is only so much success, love, or happiness to go around. If someone else gets promoted, buys a new home, or travels to an exotic destination, we may feel like we have somehow missed out on those same experiences or opportunities. We begin to question our own worth or believe that we are somehow falling short of the standard that others are setting. This scarcity mindset prevents us from appreciating what we already have and the progress we've made in our own lives. It shifts our focus from gratitude to dissatisfaction, making us feel like we are constantly chasing something we can never attain. Another dangerous aspect of comparison is that it leads to unhealthy competition. We become so focused on outdoing others or measuring our success against theirs that we forget to define success on our own terms. The truth is that success is personal. It looks different for everyone, and it doesn't always fit into the mold we see others following. By constantly measuring ourselves against others, we lose sight of our own goals and desires. What once brought us joy or fulfillment may become overshadowed by the desire to achieve more, not for our own growth, but to prove something to others. This unhealthy competition prevents us from finding true peace and satisfaction in our own achievements. Additionally, comparison robs us of our individuality. Each one of us has our own unique strengths, talents, and life experiences. When we compare ourselves to others, we start to ignore these qualities and instead focus on trying to measure up to an external standard. This leads to self-doubt and insecurity as we feel that who we are is not enough. We forget that the very qualities that make us unique are the things that contribute to our value and worth. When we let comparison take over, we lose touch with our authentic selves, and we may begin to mold ourselves into someone we think we should be, rather than embracing who we truly are.